Good morning and welcome into a week that already feels like it's lasted a month, and we're only just gone 8 o'clock on Monday morning. So hello, welcome on this sort of a bit overcast morning today. So no sun topping up your suntans this morning, but perhaps things will get brighter as the day goes on. Let's hope so. My name, if you don't know who I am, is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. And on a Monday morning and a Thursday evening, I do like to come in and do a little bit of crafting with you live. And it feels like this morning div, as if we really do need just to settle ourselves. Now, I've got a horrible feeling, looking at the way those comments are coming through, that this video may be on its side. Let's find us. That will be a good start to the morning, won't it? Morning, Wendy. Hello from Australia. I'm just trying to find you on my laptop to see if my suspicions are correct and whether you are actually lying on your side. You are. Hold on to your hats, people. I'm going to swing you round, so it will mean that we have a portrait video this morning, so apologies. Have a good time, Wendy, whatever it is you're off to do. It would be lovely to have you back in on catch up. So there we are. Let's swing you round so you're no longer getting a crick in your neck, but I will need to bear in mind that we're on a portrait view today, and apologies if that spoils your view on the device that you're watching it on. We've got lots of exciting things going on in the household. My son's fiance is heading off tomorrow. She's going to do a challenge which is called the Explorer Belt, which is Explorers are part of Scouting, if you're not sure, here in the UK, and the Explorer Belt is one of the top recognitions you can earn as an explorer, as a young person in Scouting. And her and a few others are heading off tomorrow, and they're going to be travelling through Europe, through Germany and Poland, and exploring for themselves some of the impacts of World War II on that part of Europe. They're visiting Auschwitz and the Berlin Wall and all of those sorts of things. So a really fabulous achievement. We are so proud of her. But obviously we've been doing all we can to support her in these final days as she gets herself ready and has she got everything that they take. Obviously they're going to be carrying in a backpack, so she needs enough to keep her going for about 11 days, but with it not too much weight and not too much room. And so yeah, it's always a stressful time when you're getting packed and ready, but we are so proud of her, and she's going to have such a fabulous time, and we can't wait for the stories when she comes back, and for creating those scrapbooks and putting those memories on paper. But it does mean that we're all a bit, whoa, where now? What do we need to do? So haven't had quite so much sleep as I really would have liked to have done. So a little bit bleary-eyed this morning, hence why the camera is the wrong way round. Just didn't quite take the time to take step one before I hit go live. So apologies for that, but let's do some crafting, and let's sort of settle ourselves and ground ourselves where we like to be with paper, stamps and ink. And the bundle that I'm going to be playing with on my lives this week is this Daisy Lane stamp set and punch bundle. You can see from the pictures here, it just is so versatile and so gorgeous, some of the things that you can make with it. And we'll be playing around and making a few flowers a bit like this on Thursday. But for today, we're going to have a little look at the stamp set and the punch, and in fact the other punch that's already been in the catalogue, that was in the catalogue previously, that will also go with this stamp set. And there is actually another stamp that coordinates with this stamp set. Let me see if I can just grab that off my shelf. So let's have a little quick look at the stamp set itself. You've got a picture here, and here it is in real life, the Daisy Lane stamp set. And you've got this beautiful ferny leaf here that is just stunning. You've got two sort of strange looking flower images. They look a bit sort of bare, as if somebody's been plucking them. He loves me not. But that's because they fit beautifully into these punches. This is the medium punch, which is the new punch that has come out and you can get as part of this bundle. And then there is its big sister, big brother, which is the daisy punch that has been out for a little while. And so when you then combine these two punches, you can start making some gorgeous 3D creations. You could do some gorgeous things with this one, but combine the two, and yeah, the world is your oyster. So we have these two daisy flowers that you can punch with the punches. You've got this other separate little flower daisy image here that's really pretty, that stands on its own, and this wonderful stem with the leaves on. This smile and this friend, just gorgeous fonts on those greetings. And then this, the best moments in my life happen with you, and it's your time to shine. So a really lovely stamp set. A stamp set on its own you could do gorgeous things with, because you could fussy cut these, or you can double stamp them. You don't need to have the punch, but if you're having this, why wouldn't you want this and this as well? But as I say, these are the bundle. So if you're buying the Daisy Lane stamp set and punch bundle, these are the two you get. You get the smaller punch that fits with this smaller daisy, but then, as I say, the bigger punch is available. And this is the Daisy Delight stamp set that we've had out, that came out originally with this big punch. So obviously this daisy just here will fit this big punch as well. And again, you've got smaller daisies with like a background water wash. You've got this little bit just here that will stamp the inner of these daisies, some more leaves and things. Yeah, so that again is a gorgeous stamp set. So you almost want the whole family, but for today we're going to be concentrating on these members of the family. And there are, as there are for everything, some gorgeous samples in the catalogue. Oh, don't let me lose those, we shall want those in a minute. I mean, this is particularly beautiful with all these flowers here. As I say, and we'll be looking at some a bit like that. We're not going to make quite that. Morning, Shirley. But we'll be doing some flowers a bit like that on Thursday. Here's another. So this is one's using those lovely floral centres, those 3D floral centres that are in the catalogue, that are good fun. Give it a fuzzy middle. So that's that. But the sample that we're going to do, we're going to flick to the front of the catalogue. And in the catalogue this time, they have, so apologies that you're not going to be able, that I'm having to sort of hone you in on parts of the catalogue. That's because we're the wrong way round, but never mind. At the beginning of the catalogue this time, you've got this bundle index, which is really useful. It enables you to have a flick through and think, oh, that's the bundle I'm looking for. I need to go to this page. So with this Daisy Lane, there's the bundle I'm looking for. I need to go to page 23. But on a Monday morning, we have been casing a card, and this is the card I thought we would have a go at casing this morning. As I said, it's been a bit of a mad weekend. We've done some lovely things as well. We went yesterday to an indoor crazy golf with the entire family. So everybody from my two-year-old and 3-year-old grandchildren up to myself and my husband, the aged grandparents, were all playing crazy golf, and we had a lovely afternoon, and it was surprising how good the children were. Actually, they had a fabulous time. There may have been a little bit of cheating and picking up of balls and putting them in holes, but when you're two, I think that's allowed. But we had a lovely afternoon yesterday, so it's been very busy, so I haven't had time to do here's one we made earlier. So we're doing it on the hoof. What's new, ladies? Okay, so the first thing I have done is I have created a mossy meadow card base. And I've done that by taking a piece of A4 card. Here it is. Here's the A4 card I used earlier. I have scored it at 14.9 and I have cut it at 10.5. Now that's the opposite way round to we normally do cards, but if you've got a card that's standing this way, I find this style of card stands better on your shelf. It's got a more sturdy base. If you've got cards that are sort of this way, although they're lovely, and I do them sometimes, they can have a tendency, particularly if there's a lot on them, to gradually over the course of the day to do that, whereas this way round they're not quite so likely to do that. So we've created a card that's this way, a side opening C6 Mossy Meadow card base. And then we've got a piece of this beautiful designer series paper. Now this is from another flower altogether. This is from the Magnolia Lane DSP. Gorgeous papers. They're all sort of, there's not masses of colour in this paper because it is all about matching with that Magnolia Lane. So it is lots of blacks and petal pinks and mossy meadow, but some really nice paper. Brown's really lovely, and really lovely for just giving this sort of background image. So you know, it doesn't have to be the main focal point of the card. It sits very nicely in the background. So that's that piece of designer series paper. And the designer series paper I have actually cut, because obviously we have the same problem we often have when we're casing the catalogue on a Monday morning. The card in the catalogue was obviously created by the design team out in Utah, in America, so they use their card sizings. And here in the UK we have metric card sizings, so we have to do a bit of tweaking and guessing and what size do we think that's going to want to be in order to work for us. So that's our piece of DSP, and then we've got a piece of Whisper White to go on the top, and I've actually cut that so it is 12.5 centimetres long and 10 centimetres wide. So those are our measurements on our card. The other thing that we need is we need a little piece of crumb cake card that we're actually going to run through the basket weave embossing folder. Now this is obviously an old style packaging on our embossing folder, because this is one that has carried over. So as of yet I don't think we can still quite get our hands on the carried over 3D embossing folders, but this is one that will be coming. They are carrying this over, so they are busy transferring it from for the new manufacturers. So they're transferring it so that the new manufacturers can create this style in their format. The 3D folders from the new manufacturers are not quite so thick, they're slightly different, still as beautiful, they work fabulously, but they're just slightly different. So obviously those styles that are carrying over from the old catalogue, they're having to tweak slightly just to fit the new format and carry those designs over. So that's not quite complete yet, but they will be on our way. So do look out. If you haven't already got the basket embossing folder, do look out for it coming. So what we're going to do is we're going to emboss that piece of card, because then we're going to cut out a shape from it. Excuse me, knocking the phone, my apologies. It's my wire from the on my mic that is getting in the way. So let's just run that through the die cutting machine. And obviously if you do have one of these big shots, you just, for the 3D embossing folders, you just need your base plate and one acrylic plate. Depending on your machine will depend on what sandwich you need to take these folders. So, but you'll need to have a play with that and read instructions on your particular machines. But regardless of the machine, you get a beautiful basket weaved. Hello Chrissy, watching from Australia, how lovely to have you with us. For us it's sort of, you know, 8:15 in the morning. I'm sure you're much later into the day, it's probably tea time there. So you're just finishing your working day, we're just getting into ours. So we have created this beautiful basket weaved effect on our piece of crumb cake, and we're going to use that to cut out our basket for our flowers. Right, let's get on to some stamping. Now I have cheated slightly. I may not have created here's one I made earlier, but I have started doing some of the stamping because I was aware that there was quite a lot to be done today. So we're going to need some mossy meadow and some Highland heather. Crushed curry I have already used, but I'll put it just there, so it is ready for us. And I've actually got my stamping scrub on standby for cleaning my stamps today. I thought I haven't given this an airing for a little while, so here it is, ready on the side to clean my stamps. So let me move my pack of paper out of the way before I sit on it, and let us, just going to move you down slightly. I seem to have a very good view of the mess on the back of my desk. let's have a look. Right, okay, so what do we need to do to copy this sample in the catalogue? There is quite an element of guesswork when we're casing the catalogue. It is a question of looking and thinking, well, it looks like that's what they've done. I am able to access a list of ingredients, apologies if you like, as to what they've used, but not necessarily how they've used them. So let me just, I'm just having a little look at the picture to see where we're going to place these things. So some Highland heather ink, and I've got this little stamp that is this small daisy just here. So this isn't the one that fits the punch, this is the one that stands alone, if you like. So we're going to want one daisy that comes not quite at the top, but probably about there, and another one on the other side that's coming in about there. And then we're going to, on a piece of Whisper White card, just looking, I know I had a piece somewhere, we are going to stamp this daisy, which is the one that looks like we've been plucking it with he loves me not. And we're going to, all in all, you need 6 of these daisies. At the moment I'm just punching 2 because, in true Blue Peter fashion, here is some I stamped and punched a few moments ago. Right, where's our daisy punch gone? So these ones we are going to punch out. Let me close that up before I rest my arm in it. So let's line this daisy up in this punch, and voila. And line that one up. There we are. It's very exciting over at this moment as we're watching any of you that follow any other demonstrators, any of the demonstrators that earned the Greek incentive trip. They're all off on their Greek cruise. So it's very exciting seeing them all boarding the ship and saying hello to other demonstrators that are familiar faces to us all. And I'm sure over the next day or two we're going to be getting sneaky peeks of things that are going to be coming up in the holiday catalogue. So in the seasonal or Christmassy catalogue, so Christmas things, New Year things, autumn things, Halloween things, all of those things we're going to be getting sneaky peeks of, I'm sure, over the coming days. So that's always exciting. Okay, so I have just lined these up. So obviously you take your 2 punched images and sort of twist them round so that they're sitting, so the one lot of petals is sitting in between the other lot of petals, and that's how you create these beautiful daisy images, and they are just gorgeous. So let's take a little bit of Tombow and let's put these flowers together. So 6 stamped punched images creates 3 daisies, and you know, you don't have to stop there. You can have another, you can make them double that, you can have 3 layers, 4 layers. It is entirely up to you. always remember that this is nature. If they don't sit perfectly, they're not absolutely spot on, then go and check out the flowers in the garden. You'll find that there'll be little bits nibbled off, little bits of damage, whatever, so it almost makes them authentic if they're not absolutely perfect. Now, our flowers are beautiful in their Highland heatherness, but you'll notice that the ones in the card that we are casing have all got yellow centres, so we need to do something about that. So what we have done, or what I have done, is I have stamped the flowers again, and I've not worried about the fact that they're overlapping and things, but I've stamped them in crushed curry, and then I've literally just cut out the centre. So I didn't need the entire flower, so it doesn't matter that it's hanging over the edge. So I just went to my box of oddments of Whisper White card and found some strips, and simply punched my flowers in crushed curry, and now I am just cutting out those centres. Particularly like the detail on this bigger daisy, that sort of, it really does give a good sense of detail. So there we are, and here's a couple more I've done earlier. So let's stick those flowers on, and it's amazing how suddenly something so small as just cutting out this piece of paper in yellow and sticking it on, how that suddenly brings so much life to those flowers. They suddenly become really quite 3D just by having that extra pop of colour in the middle. So there are the ones that we stamped directly onto the card, and these are the ones that are separate. And you can do some fun things with these flowers. You can build them up, you can have them in vases. Somewhere I still have, now I've perhaps ought to dig that out for Thursday. When the bigger daisy punch came out, I made sort of like a gift bag full of daisies, and it still is around, I think, in the front room. Probably looking a bit dusty now, but I ought to dig that out. So there we go, those are those daisies with their yellow centres. Morning, Sarah. This is the new Daisy Lane, Chrissy. So this is the new Daisy Lane stamp set just here. So this is the smaller flower that we're using that goes with the medium daisy punch. Obviously we could have been using the bigger one, but it is the smaller one. And it's beautiful, isn't it? Really is one I think we need in our collection. Right, so let's bring in some Mossy Meadow ink now. Open this one up, and here I've got this stem. So we've got this stem with all these leaves on, and we're going to be using that to give our daisies some greenery. We're actually going to be having our basket sitting underneath that we're going to create in a minute. Let's just, we'll have another stem coming up there, and actually perhaps I'll just put in a couple second generation just so that there's a sense of leaves but they're not too overwhelming. And then we'll get some dimensionals, and we'll just pop these ones up. With some dimensionals. Okay, where's that flower gone? Here it is, under my nose. No wonder I can't see it. We'll have that one coming up the top there. Beautiful. I'm wondering actually if I'm just going to lift that slightly, bring it up just a little bit more. That's better. Okay. And let's bring this one so it sits on the top. Bit of flower arranging going on here. There we are, that's better. Right, so we will need, let's have a go at cutting our basket. Now, because we are obviously on UK sizings, we've not got quite the same amount of depth as they will have had on the original card. And this is very much guesswork. How much do we want this to be? So I think cut it about there. We can always trim it, and we need it to be this bottom bit about there, I think. And then I'm just going to cut a strip to go across the top. So this is very much make it up as you go along. How long do we want that to be? About there, I should think. Oh, that wasn't very straight, was it? Okay, that's looking pretty good. So let's run a little bit of glue along here and put our top on our basket. Just need to trim another little bit off that side. There we are. So we have our flower pot, and then we'll need to decide where that wants to go along there. Stick that on and just trim off the bottom. So let's put some Tombow on here and rest that in. Just there. Whether that might be a little bit wonky because I'm not looking at it straight on. There we go, about there. And then we'll swing it over. So this is very much a make it up as you go along. There is no template, there is no die, no, and it's not helpful to move it after you've started cutting. So there is no die or template for this. This really is a make it up as you go along. But there we go. Have our basket. So let's stick all of this together, and then we'll just have our greeting to do. So while I'm doing this, let's have a little think about what's happening this week as we head into this new week, the second week of July. So if you are here in the UK anywhere with me locally, I have a few classes going on that you can come and join us. So obviously for local ladies, I have my class that happens every Monday afternoon at the community room at Tesco's, so do come and join us there at 1 o'clock this afternoon. That's very much about having a cup of tea and a natter and perhaps creating a card or two. So it'd be lovely to see you there. Tomorrow, Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month, that's always time for Created by Me, and that is an opportunity to come along and either work on your Memory and More albums, scrapbook albums, or to come and raid my stamps and dies and things and create a particular project. So if there's a particular person you've got in mind that you want to create a card for, you can come and do that on the Created by Me evenings. So that's tomorrow. And then Wednesday evening, I have my class, my touring class that I take round the county, and we're kicking off this new round in Long Buckby on Wednesday evening, so do come and join us there if you're anywhere local. Obviously if you can't make that one, then that same class will appear in Great Doddington in near Wellingborough next Wednesday, and it will appear in Nassington out by Peterborough the following Wednesday, and on the first Tuesday of the month, so I don't think that's the following week, I think that's the week after, you'll find us at the centre at Morsley. So lots of opportunities to come and access that class. And actually we're going to be doing at least one of the projects in that class. Oh, look at that, made a mess of that, Helen. Let's try that again. Over inked it and then rocked it. Shall we go once more with feeling? Went from over inking to not giving it enough ink. That one will do. It's your time to shine. So I'm just going to cut that one. Like that. And then also we have got in my basket somewhere some of the gorgeous grape stripy ribbon. We need just enough to come either side of that piece of sentiment card. So obviously that's what's going on locally. I shall be back in on Thursday evening with some more creations using the Daisy Lane suite. As always, we do on a Monday morning we case the catalogue. It's what we've been doing recently, and then on Thursday evening we have some different projects that have come out of my head, even if they have been inspired by things that I've seen elsewhere. So we've got that to look forward to on Thursday, so that's 6 o'clock UK time. So do come and join us, or play catch up if you're not able to actually physically be here, if you're in bed. There we go. So I've just put some tear and tape on the back of that and added that little piece of ribbon to there. Let's cut off that little stray thread. Thank you. And then we'll put some dimensionals on the back of here to lift that up. I do find these mini dimensionals so useful. Obviously if you're covering a big area then you want the big ones, but for little sentiments like this the mini ones are fabulous. And we're going to stick that so it comes over our basket and over the side. And then last but not least, we need a little bit of linen thread. We're going to tie ourselves a bow. We want a fairly big bow, perhaps not quite that big. Also, don't forget that there are 2 fabulous promotions going on with Stamping Up. One is if you are a shopper, so if you place an order, any order that comes to £45 or more, or multiples thereof, £90, £135, whatever it is, for every £45 that you spend, you place an order and spend during the month of July, Stamping Up. That blue dot didn't come, did it? It's still stuck on the thing. Stamping Up are going to give you a £4.50 voucher to spend during August. So spend it in July, get some more to spend in August. That's good fun. And that promotion is one that has been run for a couple of years now, and has always proved quite popular. So if you've got things on your wish list that you want to get, like the Daisy Lane bundle, then and that Daisy Lane bundle is £32.25. So, you know, add in your Magnolia Lane DSP or some cardstock, a couple of ink pads, and you'll soon have that £45. Any combination of those will give you that £45 spend. That will give you a £4.50 voucher to spend in August. So that is one of the offers that's on at the moment. So that's one that runs during July. But the other one that runs during July and August is the offer to join the family. So if you join the Stampin' Up family anytime during July or August, you're going to get extra pennies to spend on goodies now. So for your £99 starter kit, rather than £130 worth of things that you can choose, you're actually going to get £155 worth of things that you can choose. And on top of that, because they're calling this the extra promotion, on top of that, the following month, so if you join in July at the beginning of August, or if you join August at the beginning of September, Stampin' Up are going to send you a further £8 voucher to spend on another order. So extra. So if you're just shopping, £45 order will get you a £4.50 voucher next month. But if your wish list is huge, then why not make the most of that £99 joining offer, starter kit offer, and get £155 worth of things. Morning, Stella. I think you're going to have a funny wonky screen this morning. Apologies. We had Monday morning brain issues going on in the lily pad this morning. Right, so there is our card that we have cased from the catalogue. So let's bring in the catalogue. Here is the card that we were copying. So we've made ours side opening just because it gives it a bit more stability on the mantelpiece. So there's our little version of this card. Not bad for a Monday morning when I haven't had sufficient sleep. It's been lovely to have you joining us. I hope you enjoy that. Do share these videos. It's fabulous to see so many comments and things. It makes getting up bright and early on a Monday morning worth it to know that we're having friends joining us from literally all around the world. So how exciting. So come back on Thursday and join us as we create more beautiful things with this Daisy Lane bundle. And if that's something that you would like, if you would like to add this Daisy Lane bundle to your collection, if you are here in the UK and you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. I would love to help you out in getting this into your hot little hands so that you can be creating beautiful cards, beautiful home decor pieces, vases of flowers, all sorts of things that you can do with a simple stamp and a matching punch or two. So do get those into your collection. And I look forward to some breakfast now, but I also very much look forward to seeing you all back again on Thursday. Have a good week.